So we built Creator Brain 4.0 Planner, a full Notion system that helps content creators organize their entire life and content workflow in one place. But here's the thing, not everyone needs all of that. Some creators just want a simple, powerful tool to plan their content, business, nothing more. That's exactly why I created CreatorOS. By the way, if you're interested in the full Creator Brain system, there's a walkthrough link here in the pop-up or in the description below. But now, let me show you what CreatorOS can do. So here's the Content CreatorOS dashboard. But first, let me just switch to light mode for better experience, I think. And now let me take you inside the dashboard and all the features that this template is capable of. Now, let me just show you a quick difference between the Content CreatorOS and Creator Brain. If we go to the navigation here, we can see we have creator profiles, social media, content dashboard, sponsorships and affiliates, assets, pillars, and other stuff. And here we can see also another live side. Well, it's not 100% live side, but it can be both live and related to life and related to your content. For example, you can have personal goals like, for example, build muscles this year or learn a new skill, or it can be related to content creation like achieve 500k followers, for example. Also, projects or tasks and notes and resources, all of those can be related to your personal life and also related to content. But if we go to the Creator Brain, so here's the Creator Brain 4.0. First of all, this is a new update, just released it. We can see we have more pages and more features. So for example, here we have milestones, we have habits wars. You can also track your habits. We have journaling, books. You have, for example, let me see here, you can manage your products. We have more dashboards here. You can organize your personal life or your content creation. And overall, it's much better for content creators. There's some cool features like the daily status. For example, here you can track your tasks, for example. So here you can see, for example, 0 out of 2 completed tasks, and then you can finish them. Here you can track your good habits and bad habits, for example, and complete them. So you can click on this one and complete them. And here we can see we have 3 out of 3 completed habits, and you can see the overall progress. You can add daily rewards, and there's too many, cool features. But now let's just back to the Creator OS. So the first thing we see in the Creator OS dashboard is quick action buttons. So here you can easily add a new task, resource from the web, or a new note, a new sponsor, or a new assets that you found in the web, for example, or on Instagram Reels, and you can save them easily. Also, here we have quick actions for the finance brain that comes for free with this template, only with the advanced version. So only the advanced version of the Creator OS has the finance brain. The basic version doesn't include the finance brain. So here you can add a new income, for example, if you made a sale or you receive your job salary, for example. If you can add a new expense, transaction, subscription, and actually there's too many things in the finance brain we will see later on. Here we have content posting. So here previously we had a button that called plan content, and it was just one button. But then what I did is I divide this button to mini category, or let's say mini media type. So here you can add, for example, new YouTube video. Let me just add YouTube here. So for example, if we click on new YouTube video, we're going to open this content planner here. And here we can see the type of media is video and the platform related is YouTube. And then you can create and manage your content. You can add a new post on Instagram or Facebook. You can add a new tweet, reel, short, TikTok, or a new email marketing, for example. For example, let's go here. So for example, this week I will send a new email. So yeah, that's my previous email. What if the content you watch is running your life? So I can paste it here. Then I can add, for example, publish date. So I published it yesterday and the status is published. So it's published here. There's no sponsor, no thumbnail. Actually, there's a thumbnail for that one. I can choose a file. So I can choose this file here and upload it. So here's the cover of the email. And here I can add, for example, the subject line, which is actually that one. Here I can add my key points, final script. So I can go here and paste my script. If there's an assets or resources or notes that are included in this email, I can relate them here easily. For example, this email includes some other articles that will be related to it. So I can easily add a resource, for example, here. I can go to my website and then, for example, I mentioned some articles, which is this one and this one, this one. Let me just paste one of them here and just let me add URL. And here I can add, for example, mention previous articles, for example, and then I can relate it to my content, which is this one, email. And then if I open it and I go to resources, I will see it here easily. Of course, the content template, you can edit it. For example, if we go to YouTube videos, you can edit this. You can remove this script and outline if you're not going to use them, for example, or you can remove this one, or you can add your personal templates. This is just my personal example. Then we have in the dashboard the today status here. For example, let's add another content just to make another example. Let's just add a new reel, for example. So let's add a new reel. Best Notion shortcuts for 2025, for example. And then I can add the publish date. Let's say today. I will publish it today. Status is currently is ready to publish, for example. Or maybe it's editing. I'm currently editing this reel and there's no sponsor, no thumbnail. And here the profile. So the profile is which account I will publish this reel into. For example, if you only have one account, you don't have to set up this profile. But for me, for example, I have two accounts. One is All Eyes Notion, related only to Notion, and All Eyes Creation is related to another type of content. So this one will be, of course, related to my All Eyes Notion YouTube account. Okay, I can paste it here. There's other stuff I can fill, but I'm just gonna keep it empty for now. So here, if we go to today's status here, I can see my reel. And for example, once I finished editing and it's ready to publish, and then I can publish it and it will disappear. Here we have my to do and doing tasks. For example, I can add go to gym, add the priority, let's say it's important. I can add prepare today meals, and let's say this one is urgent, so it should be the first one. And finally, for example, I can add publish today's content, which will be low and easy, and it will be the last one. And once I finished all my tasks, they will disappear from this view here to do and doing, and then they will move to the done tasks section here. Finally, here in the today's section, we have resources and notes. So any notes that you captured today or the last 24 hours. So for example, so the resource that we just created previously, which is mentioned of the previous articles, we can see that it has been added here to the today status here. Also, if we created a resource or notes yesterday, it will also be shown here. So recent resource or recent notes, let me just name it recent resources. If we go to the filter here, we can see that where is created today or yesterday. Okay. The same thing for notes. Moving on in our dashboard, we have platforms and profile. So here we can easily, for example, go to YouTube and see, for example, today content. If you have today content, you can check also this week content and play around. For example, if this one is overdue, I can move it to today. Okay. And then you can see all time content related to this platform. Also, this new version of the CreatorOS included Notion layouts tab. So previously I had, for example, the ideas, goals, projects, and all the stuff that are related to YouTube here in one content. But now with Notion layouts tab, it's make it more organized and looks much more cleaner. So here we can see the ideas, content ideas. For example, why I didn't go to college. So this is a video I want to publish. It's currently just an idea. And then if I want to switch it to content, let me show you how. So let me just delete this one here. So why I didn't go to college. So this is a content idea I will publish on YouTube and Instagram. So it will be a video and reel. Then what I did is I add publish dates. Now in the state of idea, the publish dates become the review date when I want to review this idea and then decide if I want to publish it or not. Or sorry, if I want to switch it to our content or not. And let's say I did review it. Okay. So the publish date was, this one is too old. So the publish date is September 13. And let's say, okay, I will switch it from an idea now to start planning this video. And then I want to, for example, publish it at, let's say, at the end of this month, 13 April. So it's an upcoming content. Now I can transform it from just an idea to a YouTube video, for example. And then I can fill all my templates and also add tasks if needed related to this content. So this is how you can switch an idea to content. Now let's go back to our platforms. Here we can see also goals related to this platform. If there is some goals, we can see projects and we can see notes and resources related to this platform so easily. I really like this new Notion layout tab. I added to all my premium Notion templates and also to the free one. Not all of them. I will add it to all of them in the future, inshallah. But now I just added to the premium one and I really love it. It does make the template looks much more cleaner. Here we have profiles. Now, just like I said previously, if you only have one account across all your platforms, you don't even need to create this profile. You can delete them, okay? But for me, I have two. So if I click, for example, on All Eyes Creation, I can see the content that's related to it. today, this week, and all. Here we have some properties. We have when I create this account. For me, this account I created, I think on, yeah, on August, yeah, August 1. And here's the platforms I have this account included in. So I have Instagram and Twitter for now. And here we have content pillars. So what type of content I published in this account? I have motivational reels and inspiring content like articles and all other stuff. Here I have goals that related to this account. For example, I want to achieve 500k followers on Instagram on OS creation. And here also I can see the projects related to this account. So that's make it so easy, especially for me or for any content creators that has too many accounts. For example, he has a YouTube channel for, vlogs, and another channel for example, let's say tutorials of editing, for example. That is so useful. Now let's move on in our dashboard. Here we can see this week view, which will allow you to see this week content easily. Also, we can see tasks of this week. And finally, we can see the income and expenses. For example, if let's just add an income, for example, job salary. Here I can add the month, April, and here I can add the account, which account this money will be sent to. So for example, let's say my bank account, and here my income earned, let's say $3,000, just for example. And then if we go to this week, here we can see our job salary. Also, you can add expenses. For example, let's go and add, let's say that you bought a new monitor, 5K monitor, for example, for your MacBook. Here we can add the month. Let's add April, the account that you spend this money from. So let's say bank account, and I spent, for example, $800, for example. And here we can add the expenses category so you can organize your budgeting. So for example, let's say it's related to your content creation. Now let's just move on, and I will come back to the finance brain later. Here we have the review section. So here we can see ideas that need to be reviewed, resources, and notes. Why I did skip sponsors here, I will tell you. So here we have ideas, resources, and notes that need to be reviewed. For example, if we go and create it, let me just create an example. So for example, let's create a new note. Let's say, for example, for me, I want to start rebranding my entire business. And here, let's say I want to review this notes after 3 days. So after 3 days, I want to review this notes, and I want to start taking action. I want to start adding some projects and things that I'm gonna do. For example, let's say I want to review it after 3 days. Now here we can see review in 3 days, nothing in red. Okay. Also, you will not see it in the review section. But let's just act like if this rebrand note I created the last 3 days, and then 3 days passed, so I have to add minus 3 days. Just an example. So it's overall it's overdue by 3 days. Now if I go to the review section here, oh, I see this note, and then I click on it, I review it, and start take action. Now I can see note has been reviewed. Okay, and it will be and and then it will be removed from the review section. And this is so powerful because sometimes we save notes or resources and we forget about them. But if they was on front of you, you will not forget them. So that's why the review section is so powerful. The same thing I just explained before for content idea. Let's just create another one to make it much more easier for you to understand. So let's just go and create another idea of content. Let me just add, for example, something like email, and let me just something like how to start making each month, or maybe 10K, for example. So this is an email I want to write. So the platform will be email marketing. Type will be email, of course. The profile, only have always Notion. Actually, I have always Notion and Creation, both of them. So I will add both accounts. Publish date, which is not the publish date, it becomes the review date. So I want to review it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to decide if I want to publish or to transform this idea into a content or not. So here we have review in 0 days. And so it's not overdue. But let's say that the review day was yesterday. Okay. So now it's overdue by 1 day. And if I go to the review section here, we're going to see it. Then when I will see it, I will click on it and check. Okay. I decide to transform this one into an email. Now I can switch it from status from idea. So for example, now planning or collecting ideas of this new email. And also I will change the publish dates from this date. So for example, I want to publish it at Wednesday, for example. Now it's an upcoming content or upcoming article. So that's how really powerful the review section can be. And now let's move on. Here we have in progress, or before that we have the ambient music. You can easily embed any Spotify, for example, playlist you have. Just go here, add embed, and then you can copy the link of the Spotify widget. or the playlist, sorry. Here we have finally in progress, which is goals and projects that are in progress that you are currently work on. For example, achieve 500k followers. So this project, or sorry, this goal I'm currently working on. So I have some projects and milestones that will help me achieve this goal. For example, I have to publish 2 reels every month on Instagram, and also I want to start rebranding my page. Okay, so those are actionable steps I will take in order to help me achieve this goal. Also, I can take those projects or milestones and break them down into small tasks that I can take every day in order to achieve these milestones or projects in order to achieve my goal. Also, we can see that we have notes and resources related to our projects. So that's what we have here. Now let's move on, for example, to the sponsorship page, or we can go to the active sponsor here. I can easily add any sponsor I want. For example, let's go and add, let's say Kikaron, for example, they want to sponsor a video, for example. Here we can add many different stages of these sponsorships. Let's say now it's a deal. We are currently working with them. The start date was, let's say today, and they gave me, for example, let's say they gave me a month to make videos related to them. Here we can see 29 days left, and here we have the amount per mention. So how much they will pay me on each mention of their keyboards on my videos, for example. So let's say I will create 2 videos in this 13 days. One, for example, my setup of the year, for example, and the best keyboard I ever used, for example. So they will pay me, for example, let's say $1,000 just. And here we have placements. So placements is how many times I will mention them. So let's say I will mention them in 2 videos. The total earn will be $2,000. And here we have the paid status. So the paid status, we have paid, half paid, or delayed. If it's paid, we can see the earning is now totally $2,000. If it's half paid, we can see it's only $1,000. If it's delayed, it's $0. That means that they didn't pay us. So here, let's just add paid. And then one of the cool features is that we also optimize the finance brain to work with the CreatorOS. So here we can add this Kikron sponsorship to your income. So when you go to the finance brain and, for example, you go to this month status of incomes, you also see this sponsorship there. So you can calculate your incomes correctly. Now, here we can add content that's related to these sponsorships that I will mention them. And for example, let's say both content I published them. For example, let's say the first one is a YouTube video, my setup for 2025. Let's say it's published all the things here. Let's say I published 24, just an example. Let's add another page in the published also. And let's add this one to, for example, YouTube video and the best keyboard I ever tried. Profile, I can add always Notion, for example. A publish date, let's say something here. And also here now, if we go to sponsor, I can see Kikron. So that's how you can create sponsorships. We also now, if we go to the sponsorships and affiliates page, we can see affiliates. And it's also another great way to organize all your affiliates and organize your sales and commission in one place. Now let's move. We can see also assets. So here we can organize all the assets you're going to use on your content, your video editing, anything that you found really useful in the web or while you are scrolling on Instagram. You can save it easily here. You can add the name related to a specific content. You add the URL and the type of it. And finally, in the content section here, we have weapons. So weapons is just the tools and the purchases that you use in your content creation or business or the software subscriptions. For example, if we go here, we can add a new subscription. And by the way, those 2 databases are taken from the finance brain. So if we go here and add a new subscription, for example, let's say Framer, for example, it's my own, tool that I use. So here we can see the status is active, recurrent, we can add monthly. So monthly, original payment. So my first payment was, I think, October, October 17. Yeah, October 17, I think. It cost me $20 each month. So here I can see my last payment was April 17. So I already paid this month. My next payment is May 17, and this year's payment is $18, and all-time spent is $114. And by the way, our subscription tracker, let me say, is one of the most, if it's not the most powerful in the market. It's so advanced that you can even stop your subscriptions and it will not keep calculating. So if you go to your the finance brain profile and you can see all-time income and all-time expenses, for example, all-time expenses, you can see that your subscription has been calculated in the right way. So it's so powerful and it doesn't get wrong. Here you can add all your subscription. You can add also, for example, Adobe for example, Premiere Pro, or here you can add, for example, add DaVinci Resolve. So here the view is filtered so you can only see the expenses that are related to content creation. Okay, so expenses category is related to content creation or your business. The same thing for software and subscription, only content and business will be shown here in the weapons section. So that's all what we have in the Content Creator OS templates. It will make your content creation career more organized and more seamless. So that's what we have in this video. Let me know if you guys have any question about the templates. I will be happy to respond in the comments below. See you. Bye bye.